A fantastic combination of colours on a vehicle can make all the difference when it comes to visuals, not only externally, but absolutely when it comes to an interior as well. And you could argue quite strongly that no more is that the case than on a luxury car. And of course, a Range Rover definitely applies there. A Range Rover Sport in this particular form, one of many, many fantastic examples which have been in and flown straight out of our collection almost as soon as they arrive, and this one will doubtless be the same. It is, of course, in particular a 2016 HSE dynamic version, which means a very, very healthy spec sheet, that's for sure. In fact, it has one or two optional extras which are quite rare to find, all of which we'll touch on in a second. But first things first, we'll of course talk about its history, its mileage, and its price. In other words, three of the primary reasons why people love these so much. Consider the price first. These were, of course, when new, up around £60,000 4x4s. Now, this exact car, which has only kissed 81,000 miles, still, of course, with the option of low deposit financing as well, if you did want to make use of it, is under £20,000. Quite literally a third of the price of what you were paying back in 2016, but for a car which still looks, feels, and certainly drives like a fraction of those miles. The reason why it drives, looks, and feels so good, though, makes sense. It has a fantastic history, not just in terms of servicing, which is superb. It has a full main agent history to its name, as well as just being serviced by ourselves as well, but this is only a 2 private keeper car in all of that time. In fact, speaking to the fantastic and definitely eye-catching spec, it makes total sense because this was one of Range Rover's own showroom models. So this was the kind of car which they wanted to attract customers. So they put a fantastic level of kit in it, certainly an eye-catching colour combination of storm grey on the outside with full heated pimento red leather, those stunning 22-inch wheels, and of course aluminium trim. It is a gorgeous looking car, and when you recontextualise its visuals while thinking about it as a showroom model, you can totally see this in your mind back in 2016 on the forecourt, or in this case inside the Range Rover dealership, showing off exactly how these cars can be spec'd. After its first private owner though, it went in around 2021 back into Range Rover's own system as one of their approved used Range Rover Sports. In other words, a vehicle which Range Rover themselves deem good enough to offer as one of their cars again. Since then, it's had one private keeper, and clearly this car is a testament to all of those who are involved in its production, its ownership, its servicing, etc. To move on to the point of its engine, it is of course a 3-litre SD V6, and for those who are followers of our collection and of course fans of Range Rover Sports, we probably didn't even really need to tell you that. You know that's exactly the kind of engines we always like to find on these because they're so in demand. On the one hand, it's a 300 horsepower V6 with a huge, a monumental in fact amount of pulling power, 516 foot-pounds, which is up around 700 newtons. It's not only that, because of course you would expect some power, some proper low-end pulling power in particular from a 4x4, but the reason why people are choosing now more than ever to actually live with these cars as school runners, daily drivers, long-distance commuters even on the motorway is because of their efficiency. They're so much better on fuel than you would realistically think they could be, up to 40 miles per gallon on average, even higher on the motorway as high as 44, and the real cherry on the cake, the cherry to match those red seats, is its road tax. At a time when some older Range Rovers and Range Rover Sports are nearly £800 a year to tax, this in comparison is £195. Now though, we need of course to return to the point of its kit, being again that showroom model and a HSE dynamic on top of that. It has that full panoramic roof with power blind, reverse parking camera with front and rear parking sensors as well, dual 10-inch touchscreen displays with built-in Bluetooth, of course plenty going on when it comes to the sound system and connectivity, including Meridian sound. It also has the quite nice and very, very rare optional extra of a domestic plug socket included as well, Pro navigation with its own built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, cruise control, power folding and heated mirrors, power opening and closing tail as well, matrix LED headlights with dual zone climate control, of course electronic air suspension. That is after all part of the reason why these are so smooth and so comfortable to drive. As the name suggests, adaptive dynamics and an electronic active diff as well. For those who are planning to use it of course as a family car, be it a holiday vehicle, a school runner or anything in between if you do need to fit it with child seats. Of course, it has ISOFIX anchor points as well. Given that virtually every single example of Range Rover and Range Rover Sport fly out of our doors almost as quickly as they come in, one as special as this in terms of its interior colour, its rare optional extras in many cases, and certainly its superb history, which of course is most important of all, it's really not going to stick around for very long. So of course, if you would like to reach out regarding this HSE Dynamic, you could of course send us an email to the address shown right here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871 155 or via our mobile number of 07482 267 439.